Hello everybody! We need to talk about this card. This card is amazing and I really love the design and what this card does for the deck. But we have to consider it alongside the other cards in the package. We have to consider it with Illumination and Betrayal. My question is there a way to reduce the power of the deck and increase consistency and increase slots for non-engine? What I'm testing now is this guy right here, Wheel Synchron. So Wheel Synchron is a brick, of course, it's a brick, but it replaces all of these cards right here. Let's face it, Stardust, as good as it is, it's not Jet and it's not Revolution Synchron. Like this card paired with Right does a very bad line, which has to go for Shooting Riser and does not give you any protection. And even though it's good with Souls and to pay, we can readjust our extenders to be good with the rest of the Synchrons. Because think about it, we tried to have lower level tuners and higher level non-tuners. For example, Jet and Token, or Revolution when it's revived, it's level 1, so we need higher level non-tuner extenders. And this kind of conflicts with it. I know it's good going second because these cards force interruptions, but it's only good going second if you see these two together, or these two together, or these two together. But if you only see Stardust Synchron by itself, it's not good going second. It's just a way to search Illumination, and then Illumination cannot special because you don't have a way to make access Synchro Stardust Dragon. So what does this guy provide? This card allows us to make a good board by playing under draw, because you cannot physically search Illumination after Speed or Resolved because you're not playing it. So this allows us to keep playing well under draw, and it's a thing you have to keep in mind when you try to innovate this deck. There is no point in cutting these other cards if you're not playing under draw. Like if you have to implement another card and cut these, but here you can play under draw and here you cannot, like this is automatically worse. Fuck it, we play this because this allows the players to play under draw. So this guy allows us to play under draw. It reduces the ceiling quite a bit because Trail is a way to have 3 non-tuner bodies on the field. It's Trail special summoned by Illumination, the Trail token, which is a level 1 token, and then Trail revived by its own effect. It's 3 non-tuners, and this is only 1. It can be a tuner if you want to, but more often than not, it will be a non-tuner. So practically speaking, what is the end board with this guy? So usually, you can end on Omega, Baron, and Despair. And I'd argue that this board is good enough because you Omega twice, you have 2 negates, plus you have your non-engine. And if you started with Jet instead of Revolution, Baron is Herald. Actually, you have a way to make this board with 2 Omegas if you draw 1 extra Enchantress or any 1 extra body. Basically, this board with no extenders is very easily amplified with the other extenders you have. What does this mean? It means that if you have a hand full of engine, you can convert that engine into more negates. But if you have a hand with only the 2 cards to start your combo, that's also fine because you end on this and on engine. And that is the perfect scenario for us. You have a way to convert your extra engine into extra interruptions. So when you go first, you never draw too much engine. It's when you go second that you want to see more of your non-engine. Also, with wheel, it's easier to access librarian lines. Because we are playing Tango in this version, and if you open right tuner and Tango, what happens is that you use the right to make your standard combo, and then wheel extra normal summons Tango. Then you have the librarian line with the non-tuner bodies provided by Reborn Tango. So this is the end board, and I would argue it's still good enough. In my opinion, you should win 99% of your games if you get to full board with these 3. If you have these 3, you should win. You should be winning the game. 99% of your games, as I said, should be yours if you get to this point. Especially if your opponent interacted with you and hand trapped you in a wrong spot or a spot that didn't matter. Like, that's even more oppressive as a board. It might seem underwhelming, but if you play well your interruptions and you know what you're doing and your opponent is doing, this should be enough. There are cases where this will not be enough. For example, I played against a guy that hand trapped me 3 times, and I ended on this and this, and Baron was already used. So I ripped the other 2 cards in his hand, and I only have a Book of Moon. The guy managed to... This was banished, of course, because like I hand ripped twice. So my board was Baron used and Dissipator not used, of course. And my opponent top decks fucking Desires. Desires into a Book of Moon on my Dissipator and a 1-card starter. Like, are you kidding me? I had books, so it didn't matter. But I mean, there will be cases where this end board is not enough by itself, but you have your non-engine to support that. And in a Calamity build, you don't even need that. You just Calamity lock and you just don't care what your opponent is doing because you already won. So this is the consideration. We have to test if these guys are worth the slots they take, or if wheel is good enough to play and have more non-edge slots. Another thing is that if you cut the Stardust, you might be cutting consistency because it's more tuners, but you can replace the Stardust with tunings, which I was not including in my latest deck list. But now we have like 4 more slots. We have wheel, 4 more slots, and then we have to readjust the extenders. So there is room to improve the consistency even without Stardust. The thing is that Stardust and Trail allow you to have a speeder line, because you can just set a body, you go Stardust, tribute the body, special summon, and then you have Stardust Sailing 1, Trail Sailing 2. So your special Trail, Search Illumination. So now you can then Synchro Summon for access Synchro Stardust, Trail makes a token level 1, this makes another Stardust, and that's Speeder. You have a level 1 non-tuner and a level 4 tuner Synchron, which is Speeder, and it's also protected by access Synchro Stardust Dragon. So those two provide extra lines to make Speeder. And is that the same for wheel? The answer is yes, because you can just, for example, special a body, and doesn't need to be assault, can be whatever, a Fenrir or whatever. Then you tribute summon wheel, extra normal summon another synchro body. Usually it works with jet or evolution. So you can then synchro for whatever. You can make charge in this case, have Stardust charge to draw, but we don't care about the draw. And then you have wheel grave effect that allows you to level modulate this and make it level 4. So you can just jet revive, and this is speeder. And this is exactly speeder. Will it be a good speeder? Of course not. It will be a bad speeder because you used assault and you used a wheel, but it's speeder regardless, and you can play. So yeah, I don't think wheel trims your bad lines for speeder. Actually, it makes a triple tuning be a speeder route, which is better with wheel because we have wheel banished and we have dispatter summon back wheel to have more non-tuner bodies. So yeah, that's it. And also, Ibli is outable with tuning now because you tuning search wheel, tribute summon Ibli, and you can play. So it opens a lot of good scenarios while reducing the ceiling just enough to still let you win. I'm testing, and I gotta say I'm pretty satisfied with this guy. At first I hated it, but then it's cool. I think it's cool. So what do you think? Is the Stardust package still mandatory? Or can we replace all of this with just one wheel and call it a day with improved consistency and more non-engine slots? Test it, let me know. And I really have high expectations for this. I saw another guy that was on this version before me. I thought about this replacing the Stardust, but I never actually tested it before seeing this guy playing it. Wonilcho thought about that too. We actually did not test it enough, but now that I did, I think this guy is worth it. So yeah, let me conclude by shouting out CQ, which was like the third video I'm forgetting to shout out. And shout out to the whole Warp Grounds if you want to join. I'll leave the link in the description. It's basically the rule of thumb is if there's something good about Brave Synchron, it comes from Wolf Grounds. So let's all join Leo's server and let's work on the deck together and file the most optimal build. With that being said, see you on the next one. Bye!